Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Creative Calling Podcast. I'm your host, Briana Christine, designer, illustrator, creative entrepreneur, and dancer. And in this series, I am going through my book, Creative Calling Activity Book, which is a bunch of activities that I created for creative entrepreneurs to inspire them and keep them going along their creative journey. Each day, we're just taking one step at a time, trying to figure out the best path for us and grow as much as we can. It's very similar to what I do in dancing, just teach people how to take things one step at a time. Today we are going through the activity on having a rough day and what do you do when you've had a rough day and you're not feeling very great. So I love this little drawing here. At least I love the quote. Of course, I like my own art. Look in the mirror, that is your competition. I'm just realizing I'm shooting this on my camera. It's probably going to show up backwards on YouTube, but that's okay. I read it to you for those of you listening on SoundCloud. When you feel like you've had a particularly rough day, list a time you continued to try something in your work when the odds were against you and you found success. I would love to go into a dance analogy here, but what I did is I talked about when I first actually got into graphic design, because I remember I had been working in graphic design and working at Applebee's at the same time as a waitress, and I was just teaching myself tutorials all day online when I wasn't at Applebee's. And I was going back to school for graphic design after being out of school for 3 years. I had been in school, but I hadn't been studying design. I'd just only been watching YouTube videos. And I remember I applied for a graphic design position in the student government office, and I was so afraid that I wasn't going to get it because I thought, gosh, these students have been here for 3 years. They probably know so much more than I do. I haven't been out of it, and I didn't have super high hopes. I just know I had a lot of determination because I went to like every single office on campus asking if anybody needed a graphic designer, even though I'd only been a waitress for the last 3 years. So I brought my portfolio everywhere, and it turned out that I was more than qualified for the job. It turned out that all the tutorials I had been watching actually made me a better designer in a lot of ways, because sometimes as technology changes, you actually grow more than the professors. So from a technological standpoint, I actually knew how to use the programs a little bit better, but the professors had the context in which the programs were useful. So that's why, so that's a whole thing about why you should go to school and what you can learn from professors and that kind of thing. But the point of the story here is sometimes we're going through something that feels a lot more rough than it really is. So for me, it felt like I was a lot less experienced, a lot less apt for what I was trying to do. But the reality was I was more than what I thought I was. And so that's my reminder to you guys today, is that you're more than you think you are, and you have more to offer than you think you do. And if you don't think so, you can use my story, and I'm sure you have your own story that's very similar to my story. So just remember that, and I hope that helps you along your creative journey, guys. That's a short one today, but that's what I have for you. If you would like to connect with me on Facebook, I'm at facebook.com Briana for Creatives /Briana for Creatives. I'm on Instagram at Briana for Creatives. You can subscribe on SoundCloud. You can go to visit my website at creativecallingactivitybook.com, and you can subscribe on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again. Until next time.